how deliberate were you in going and choosing which investors that you wanted to work with? Or like at least for me, kind of in the beginning, you're just like whoever's in front of you. Like, were you really deliberate with the investors you wanted to work with and kind of structuring your board, or did that just kind of happen by happenstance?
It happened is the seed was sort of happenstance. It happened quick and easy, and that was where we needed to be right then. And so this combination of Google Ventures and Tom Noonan in Atlanta, again, kind of head nod back to Atlanta being a good place, that came together really quickly. When we went out for Series A, we took a pretty good lap around Sand Hill, and which is just one of the coolest experiences of career, just running up and down Sand Hill. And there were people that we liked and people that we didn't. And I'm old, and so just getting a chance to pitch at Kleiner to Ted Schlein, John Doerr was in the room, I think Mary was in the room, was just like super cool. It was just the coolest thing in the world to have John. One of the themes, again, kind of back to the Atlanta thing, is we met with some other firms that were pretty interested, and a couple of them would quip like, you can't build a big company in Atlanta, which sort of was minorly offensive. I don't think they cared that they were offending, and I understand where they were coming from, but at the time it was just like, And I remember when we did the partner pitch at Kleiner, we had a little extra time, and I said, is there any concerns you have? Like the Atlanta thing. Do you want to talk about the Atlanta thing? And John Doerr slapped his hand on the table and said, "We love Atlanta." And it's like, all right, this is great. And so Ed has been such a good board member for us. I mean, he's just seen everything. And so, good board balance there.
Yeah, and you have people like, so you have a number of obviously investors, and then you have people like Alex Estevez who, came from an operating background. How did that come about?
Alex had just moved back to the South. He had been the CFO at Atlassian. And this was right as we were going to build a board. I think in conjunction with the Series C, we needed to have a board. And so we wanted an independent board member. And I got introduced to Alex, and we just hit it off. We in the team of Fullstory. It wasn't just like a Scott Alex thing. We just really liked him. He is a great human. He is a cultural steward. Like, he just appreciates the intersection of how a culture will drive operations. We wanted Alex instantly. So I had to do some wooing. There was another company in the South that was trying to convince him to take a board spot. And it was, lightly competitive at the time. And we convinced Alex to join us. And it's been great. We have a wonderful board. Like, I talk to entrepreneurs every once in a while that have boards that have some contention on them, or you've got some, some real table bangers or yellers. Or as we got further in our fundraising, we were fortunate in Series C and D to have some options of who we wanted. And we opted for chemistry on board over highest price at times. Not too much, but, a little bit, where we just felt like it was really important. And so it's a collaborative board setting, talk a lot. Yeah.
I had the same situation where I actually took, I think, 2 rounds where I took the board member I wanted, the firm I wanted, at a lower price. And I really think too often as founders, everyone's doing math in their head and dilution and this, and I want to be able to say the highest price to the market. And when in reality, you have to live with those board members for a decade more. I mean, if you're going to be really successful, probably a pretty long time. And people are like, no, but that's the best. Or sometimes they say, oh, that's the best firm. Even if the partner sucks, that's the best firm. You're like, yeah, but the partner is the person who's going to be sitting with you, going through the ups and downs that you're going to have to deal with. I really think that's an important, reminder for people. Is like the board dynamic not even each individual board member, and then the board dynamic as a whole.